Imagine you're stuck in traffic, late for the most important meeting of your career. Your heart is racing, your palms are sweating, and you're mentally rehearsing your apology. But what if I told you that a slave from ancient Rome discovered a principle so powerful that it could transform this moment of panic into one of complete calm? What if the very thing causing your stress right now, that feeling of being out of control, could become your greatest source of inner peace? In the next 30 minutes, I'm going to show you Epictetus's revolutionary framework that has helped millions of people for over 2,000 years. And by the end of this video, you'll never look at problems the same way again. Epictetus wasn't born into wisdom. He was born into slavery. Imagine learning about control from someone who literally had no control over his own life. He was owned, beaten, and his leg was permanently damaged by his master. Yet this man, who had every reason to feel powerless, discovered something that made him freer than emperors. When he was finally freed, Epictetus didn't seek revenge or riches. Instead, he opened a school and taught what would become the most practical philosophy ever created. His students included future emperors and senators, but his teachings were so simple that anyone could apply them immediately. The principle we're exploring today, the dichotomy of control, wasn't just theory for Epictetus, it was survival. It was the difference between mental slavery and true freedom. And here's what's remarkable. The same principle that helped a Roman slave find peace can help you navigate modern anxiety, workplace stress, relationship conflicts, and every challenge you face. Let me ask you something that will change how you see everything. Right now, as you're watching this video, what do you actually control? Most people think they control their job, their relationships, their health, their reputation. But Epictetus would say you're living in an illusion, and that illusion is the source of all your suffering. Here's the truth that will set you free. You control exactly 3 things. That's it. 3 things. First, your judgments. Not what happens to you, but what you think about what happens to you. When your boss criticizes your work, you don't control their words, but you absolutely control whether you interpret it as a personal attack or valuable feedback. Second, your desires. Not whether you get what you want, but what you choose to want in the first place. You can desire things outside your control and live in constant frustration, or you can align your desires with what's actually achievable. Third, your actions. Not the outcomes of your actions, but the actions themselves. You can control whether you show up, whether you try your best, whether you act with integrity. You cannot control whether others appreciate it, whether it succeeds, or whether it gets the recognition you think it deserves. Everything else, and I mean everything, falls into the second category, not under your control. Your health? You can eat well and exercise, but you can't control genetics, accidents, or aging. Your relationships? You can be loving and honest, but you can't control how others respond. Your career? You can work hard and develop skills, but you can't control market changes, company politics, or economic downturns. Now, here's where most people get this wrong. They think this means becoming passive or not caring. That's not what Epictetus taught at all. Epictetus used the metaphor of an archer to explain this perfectly. Imagine you're an archer aiming at a target. What can you control? You can control your stance, your breathing, your aim, the quality of your bow, your practice routine when you release the arrow. These are your responsibilities, and you should pour all your energy into mastering them. But can you control the wind that might blow your arrow off course? Can you control if a bird flies into your arrow's path? Can you control if the target suddenly moves? Of course not. Here's the revolutionary part. Epictetus says your success as an archer isn't measured by hitting the target every time. It's measured by how well you execute what's under your control. If you aim perfectly, breathe correctly, and release with proper form, you've succeeded, regardless of whether you hit the bullseye. This isn't lowering your standards, it's raising them. Instead of depending on luck and circumstances for your sense of achievement, you're taking complete responsibility for what actually matters. Let me give you a modern example. You're applying for your dream job. What can you control? Your resume, your preparation, your interview performance, your follow-up. What can't you control? Whether they've already decided on an internal candidate, whether the hiring manager is having a bad day, whether the company suddenly freezes hiring. Most people torture themselves over the things they can't control. They replay the interview, obsessing over the hiring manager's facial expressions. They check their email every 5 minutes. They lose sleep wondering if they said the right things. But someone who understands the dichotomy of control, they prepare thoroughly, perform their best, and then let go completely. If they don't get the job, they don't take it personally because they know they controlled what was controllable. Now let's make this practical. I'm going to give you a framework you can use starting today. The control audit. Every morning, spend 5 minutes identifying what you can and cannot control about your day. Write it down. In the can control column, list things like your attitude, your effort, your responses to others. In the cannot control column, list things like traffic, other people's moods, unexpected problems. The pause practice. When something frustrating happens, pause and ask, is this within my control? If yes, take action. If no, practice acceptance. This isn't passive resignation, it's strategic energy management. The reframe technique. Instead of saying, I hope the presentation goes well, say, I will prepare thoroughly and deliver my best effort. Instead of, I hope they like me, say, I will be authentic and kind. Notice how this shifts your focus from outcomes to process. Let me share a personal story. Last year, I was working on a project for months. The day before the deadline, my computer crashed and I lost everything. Old me would have panicked, blamed the technology, maybe even given up. But applying Epictetus's principle, I asked, what can I control right now? I couldn't control the crash, but I could control my response. I had backups, I had notes, I had my knowledge. I spent the night recreating what I could, submitted what was possible, and explained the situation honestly. The result? Not only did I meet the deadline, but my client was impressed by how I handled the crisis. The crash, which seemed like a disaster, became an opportunity to demonstrate resilience. Once you master the basics, here are advanced applications. Emotional regulation. When someone insults you, remember, you don't control their words, but you control your interpretation. They might call you incompetent, but that's just their opinion. You control whether you let their opinion become your reality. Relationship dynamics. You can't control whether someone loves you back, but you can control whether you love authentically. You can't control whether your children make good choices, but you can control whether you provide good guidance and support. Career advancement. You can't control whether you get promoted, but you can control whether you develop promotion-worthy skills. You can't control office politics, but you can control whether you act with integrity. Health and aging. You can't control genetics or accidents, but you can control your lifestyle choices. You can't stop aging, but you can control how gracefully you age. The key insight is this: when you stop trying to control what you can't control, you suddenly have enormous energy to excel at what you can control. Most people waste 80% of their mental energy on things outside their influence. Imagine redirecting that energy toward what actually matters. Now, some of you might be thinking, this sounds like giving up. Or, what about ambition and goals? Epictetus would say, you're missing the point entirely. This philosophy doesn't eliminate ambition, it purifies it. Instead of being attached to specific outcomes, you become attached to excellence in process. You still set goals, but you hold them lightly. You still work hard, but you don't derive your self-worth from results. You still care about outcomes, but you don't suffer when they don't match your expectations. This isn't about becoming emotionless or passive. It's about becoming strategically detached from things you can't influence while becoming deeply engaged with things you can. Here's your challenge for the next 7 days. Practice the control audit every morning. When you catch yourself stressed or frustrated, ask the magic question: is this within my control? If yes, take action. If not, practice letting go. This one principle, truly understood and applied, can transform your entire relationship with stress, anxiety, and frustration. You'll still face challenges, but you'll face them with the calm confidence of someone who knows exactly where their power lies. If this video helped you see control differently, hit that like button and subscribe for more ancient wisdom that actually works in modern life. Next week, we're diving into Carl Jung's concept of the persona, the mask you wear every day and why it might be holding you back from authentic happiness. Remember, you can't control what happens to you, but you can always control what happens in you. That's not just philosophy, that's freedom. Right now, as you're watching this video, you're wearing a mask, not a physical one, a psychological one. And here's what's terrifying. You might not even know it's there. This mask is so perfectly fitted to your face that you've forgotten what you actually look like underneath. Carl Jung called this the persona, and he discovered something that will shake you to your core. Most people live their entire lives without ever taking this mask off. They die as strangers to themselves, having spent decades perfecting a performance for an audience that was never really watching. In the next 30 minutes, I'm going to show you how to recognize your mask, understand why you created it, and decide whether it's serving you or suffocating you. Carl Jung wasn't just theorizing about masks from an ivory tower. He was a man who nearly lost himself to his own persona. As a young psychiatrist in early 1900s Switzerland, Jung felt enormous pressure to conform to the rigid expectations of academic medicine. He wore the mask of the rational, scientific doctor, while his inner world was exploding with mystical experiences, dreams, and visions that would have destroyed his career if revealed. Jung's breakthrough came during what he called his confrontation with the unconscious, a period where his carefully constructed professional persona began to crack. Instead of running from this breakdown, he studied it. He realized that the mask he'd been wearing wasn't just hiding his true self from others, it was hiding his true self from himself. This led to one of psychology's most profound insights. We all wear masks, and these masks serve a crucial function in society. But when we become too identified with our masks, we lose touch with our authentic selves. Jung discovered that the journey to psychological wholeness requires recognizing our personas, understanding their purpose, and learning to take them off when appropriate. Let me ask you something that might make you uncomfortable. Who are you when nobody's watching? Most people can't answer this question because they've never met that person. They've been wearing their persona for so long that they've forgotten there's anyone underneath. The persona isn't evil or fake. It's actually a brilliant psychological adaptation. Think of it as your social operating system, the interface between your inner world and the external demands of society. Just like you wouldn't show up to a job interview in pajamas, you don't show up to social situations with your raw, unfiltered psyche. The professional persona. You might be naturally disorganized and creative, but your work persona is structured, reliable, and speaks in corporate buzzwords. You've learned to suppress your spontaneous nature because success requires predictability. The family persona. Perhaps you're the responsible one in your family. You've worn this mask for so long that you can't remember the last time you made a decision based purely on what you wanted, rather than what was expected of you. The social persona. Maybe you're naturally introverted, but you've developed an extroverted social mask because being quiet is often misinterpreted as being unfriendly or uninteresting. Here's what Jung realized. These masks aren't inherently problematic. The problem arises when we become unconscious of them. When we forget we're wearing a mask, we start to believe the mask is who we really are. Jung used the metaphor of an actor who becomes so identified with their role that they forget their real name. The actor goes home still wearing the costume, still speaking in character, until eventually they can't remember who they were before the performance began. The persona is simultaneously our greatest social tool and our greatest psychological trap. Let me show you how. How personas help us. Social lubrication. Your persona allows you to function smoothly in different social contexts. You can be professional at work, playful with friends, and nurturing with family. This flexibility is a sign of psychological health. Protection. Your persona shields your vulnerable, authentic self from judgment, rejection, and social consequences. If someone criticizes your work persona, it doesn't necessarily wound your core identity. Skill development. Sometimes wearing a mask teaches us valuable skills. The shy person who develops a confident public speaking persona might eventually integrate some of that confidence into their authentic self. Social contribution. Your persona allows you to fulfill important social roles. The teacher persona, the parent persona, the leader persona, these serve society and can be deeply meaningful. How personas harm us. Identity confusion. When you've worn a mask for years, you might not know where the persona ends and you begin. You start making life decisions based on what your persona would do, not what you actually want. Exhaustion. Maintaining a persona requires constant energy. You're essentially performing all day, every day. This is why many successful people report feeling empty despite their achievements. They've been feeding their persona while starving their authentic self. Relationship problems. If you only show your persona to others, your relationships become shallow. People fall in love with your mask, not you. This creates a terrible loneliness. You're surrounded by people who don't actually know you. Creative stagnation. Your authentic self is the source of your creativity, intuition, and genuine passion. When you're over-identified with your persona, you cut yourself off from these vital energies. The persona trap. Jung observed that many people become prisoners of their own success. They achieve everything their persona wanted, only to discover they feel empty and unfulfilled. They've climbed the ladder of success only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. Now comes the crucial work: identifying your own masks. This requires brutal honesty and careful observation. The persona recognition exercise. Step 1. Context mapping. For the next week, pay attention to how you behave in different contexts. Notice how your voice changes in different settings, which aspects of your personality you emphasize or hide, what you talk about and what you avoid mentioning, how your body language shifts. Step 2. The energy audit. Ask yourself, in which situations do you feel energized and authentic? When do you feel drained, like you're performing? What activities make you lose track of time? When do you feel like you're acting rather than being? Step 3. The contradiction check. Look for internal contradictions. Do you give advice you don't follow? Are there parts of your life that feel disconnected from each other? Do you have different values in different contexts? Are there aspects of yourself you only express in private? Step 4. The childhood comparison. Compare your current self to your childhood self. What qualities did you have as a child that you've suppressed? What did you naturally gravitate toward before social conditioning took hold? What dreams or interests did you abandon to fit in? The mirror exercise. Stand in front of a mirror and ask, who would I be if I didn't care what anyone thought? Notice what comes up. This isn't about becoming reckless or inconsiderate. It's about identifying the authentic impulses you've been suppressing. Warning signs of persona over-identification. You feel like an imposter in your own life. You're successful but unfulfilled. You can't make decisions without considering others' opinions. You feel exhausted by social interactions. You have different personalities in different contexts that feel disconnected. You've lost touch with your own preferences and desires. The goal isn't to destroy your personas. It's to develop a conscious relationship with them. You want to be able to put on and take off your masks deliberately, rather than being unconsciously controlled by them. The integration process. Conscious persona use. Start viewing your personas as tools rather than identities. Before entering a social situation, consciously choose which aspects of yourself to emphasize. This transforms unconscious performance into conscious adaptation. Authentic moments. Create spaces in your life where you can drop all personas. This might be through journaling, meditation, creative expression, or time in nature. These moments allow your authentic self to breathe and express itself. Gradual revelation. Begin sharing small aspects of your authentic self in safe relationships. You don't need to dramatically unmask yourself all at once. Start with trusted friends or family members and gradually become more genuine. Values alignment. Ensure your personas align with your core values. If your work persona requires you to act against your fundamental beliefs, this creates psychological conflict that will eventually demand resolution. The permission practice. Give yourself permission to be imperfect, to have needs, to say no, to be different from others' expectations. Your authentic self includes flaws, quirks, and contradictions, and that's what makes you human. Persona flexibility. Develop multiple authentic personas rather than one rigid mask. You can be genuinely professional at work and genuinely playful with friends without feeling fragmented, as long as both expressions feel true to you. The ultimate question. Regularly ask yourself, am I living my life or performing it? This simple question can serve as a compass, guiding you back to authenticity when you notice you've become too identified with your masks. Here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, practice the persona recognition exercise. Pay attention to when you feel most and least authentic. Notice the masks you wear and ask yourself whether they're serving you or controlling you. Remember, the goal isn't to eliminate your personas, it's to develop a conscious relationship with them. Your masks can be beautiful, useful tools when you choose to wear them, but they become prisons when you forget you can take them off. If this exploration into Jung's concept of the persona opened your eyes to the masks you've been wearing, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the psychology that shapes our lives. Next week, we're exploring Viktor Frankl's revolutionary approach to finding meaning in suffering, how to transform your worst experiences into your greatest strengths. The most courageous thing you can do is to meet yourself without your masks. Behind every persona lies a unique, irreplaceable human being. The world doesn't need another perfect performance. It needs your authentic contribution. Take off the mask, even if just for a moment, and remember who you really are. Imagine you're facing the worst moment of your life. Everything you've worked for is crumbling. The people you love are suffering. Your future looks hopeless. Now imagine that in this exact moment, you discover a hidden superpower, a secret space that exists between what happens to you and how you respond. A space so powerful that it transformed a Holocaust survivor into one of history's most influential psychologists. Viktor Frankl discovered this space in the depths of a Nazi concentration camp, and what he learned there will revolutionize how you handle every crisis, setback, and challenge for the rest of your life. In the next 30 minutes, I'm going to show you the Frankl method, a scientifically backed approach that turns suffering into strength and adversity into advantage. Viktor Frankl wasn't just a theorist writing about human resilience from the comfort of an academic office. He was a man who had everything stripped away: his family, his life's work, his freedom, even his name. In the concentration camps, he was reduced to a number, 119,134. But here's what's extraordinary. While millions perished around him, Frankl made a discovery that would change psychology forever. He noticed that some prisoners, despite facing identical horrors, maintained their humanity while others broke completely. The difference wasn't physical strength, luck, or circumstances. It was something far more profound. Frankl observed that those who survived weren't necessarily the strongest or the most fortunate. They were the ones who found meaning in their suffering and learned to exercise what he called the last of human freedoms, the ability to choose one's attitude in any given circumstances. This wasn't just philosophical speculation. Frankl was conducting real-time research on human resilience under the most extreme conditions imaginable. His insights became logotherapy, the third major school of Viennese psychotherapy, and his book, Man's Search for Meaning, became one of the most influential works of the 20th century. Let me show you something that will change how you see every problem in your life. Right now, I want you to think about the last time someone really upset you. Maybe they criticized your work, betrayed your trust, or said something hurtful. Notice what happened. There was the event, the stimulus, and then there was your reaction, the response. Most people think these happen simultaneously, but Frankl discovered something revolutionary. There's a gap. Between what happens to you and how you respond, there exists a space. Most people never notice this space because they react so quickly. But this space, however brief, contains infinite possibility. In this space lies your freedom to choose. The automatic response trap. Most of us live in what I call stimulus-response prison. Someone cuts us off in traffic, we get angry. We receive criticism, we get defensive. We face a setback, we despair. We've trained ourselves to react automatically, like biological machines. But Frankl realized that humans are different from animals precisely because we can pause in this space. A dog hears a loud noise and immediately barks. But a human can hear criticism and choose how to interpret it, how to feel about it, and how to respond to it. The three components of the space. First, awareness. You must recognize that space exists. This requires developing what psychologists call metacognition, thinking about your thinking. When something happens, instead of immediately reacting, you pause and observe your own mental process. Second, choice. In this space, you have options. You can choose to interpret the situation differently. You can choose to respond with anger or with curiosity. You can choose to see this as a threat or as an opportunity for growth. Third, response. Your response becomes conscious rather than automatic. Instead of being a victim of circumstances, you become the author of your experience. The concentration camp laboratory. Frankl tested this principle under the most extreme conditions. When guards would humiliate him, beat him, or threaten his life, he would retreat into this space. He couldn't control what they did to his body, but he could control what happened in his mind. He would imagine himself after the war, standing in a lecture hall, teaching others about the psychology of survival. In that space between the guard's cruelty and his response, Frankl found freedom. He transformed his suffering into research, his pain into purpose. Here's where Frankl's method becomes truly revolutionary. He discovered that suffering itself isn't the problem. It's meaningless suffering that destroys us. When we can find meaning in our pain, something miraculous happens. The suffering transforms from a burden into a teacher. The three sources of meaning. Creative values. What you give to the world through your work, your art, your contributions. Even in the concentration camp, Frankl found meaning by mentally reconstructing his lost manuscript and planning how he would help others after the war. Experiential values. What you take from the world through love, beauty, and connection. Frankl found meaning in moments of human kindness, in the memory of his wife's face, in a beautiful sunset seen through barbed wire. Attitudinal values. The stance you take toward unavoidable suffering. This is the most powerful source of meaning because it's always available to you. No one can take away your ability to choose your attitude. The meaning-making process. Step 1. Accept what cannot be changed. Frankl learned to distinguish between what he could and couldn't control. He couldn't control the camp conditions, but he could control his response to them. Step 2. Find the lesson or growth opportunity. Every adversity contains seeds of wisdom. Frankl asked, "What is this experience teaching me? How is it making me stronger or wiser?" Step 3. Connect to something greater. Suffering becomes meaningful when it serves a purpose beyond yourself. Frankl endured because he knew his experiences could help others. Step 4. Transform pain into purpose. The ultimate meaning-making move is using your suffering to prevent or alleviate the suffering of others. The paradox of suffering. Frankl discovered that when you try to avoid suffering at all costs, you often create more suffering. But when you accept suffering as part of life and find meaning in it, you develop what he called tragic optimism. The ability to maintain hope and find purpose even in the face of unavoidable pain. Modern applications. This isn't just about extreme situations. Every day, you face many adversities: rejection, failure, disappointment, conflict. The Frankl method teaches you to pause in that space and ask, how can I find meaning in this? What is this teaching me? How can this make me stronger? Now let's make this practical. I'm going to give you a step-by-step framework you can use starting today. The space technique. S. Stop. When something adverse happens, resist the urge to react immediately. Take a breath. Count to 3. Physically pause. P. Pause. Recognize that you're in the space between stimulus and response. This is your moment of power. A. Assess. Ask yourself 3 questions. What can I control in this situation? What meaning might this experience hold? How do I want to respond in alignment with my values? C. Choose. Consciously select your response based on your assessment, not your automatic emotional reaction. E. Execute. Act from this place of conscious choice rather than unconscious reaction. Real-world example. Let's say you get fired from your job. Your automatic response might be panic, anger, or despair. But using the space technique, stop. Don't immediately call everyone to complain or send angry emails. Pause. Recognize this is a moment where you can choose your response. Assess. You can't control the firing, but you can control how you interpret it and what you do next. Maybe this is an opportunity to pursue something you're more passionate about. Choose. Decide to see this as a redirection rather than a rejection. Execute. Start planning your next move from a place of possibility rather than victimhood. The meaning-making questions. When facing any adversity, ask yourself, 1. What is this situation trying to teach me? 2. How might this challenge be preparing me for something better? 3. What strengths am I developing through this experience? 4. How can I use this experience to help others in the future? 5. What would the person I want to become do in this situation? The daily practice. Start small. Practice the space technique with minor irritations, traffic jams, long lines, technology problems. Build your response choice muscle with low-stakes situations so it's strong when you face major challenges. Let me share a real-world application of the Frankl method through the story of Sarah, a marketing executive who lost everything in a company restructuring. The crisis. Sarah had worked for the same company for 12 years. She'd climbed the ladder, earned respect, built her identity around her role. Then, in a single meeting, she learned her entire department was being eliminated. At 45, with a mortgage and 2 kids in college, she felt her world collapse. Initial response. Sarah's first reaction was pure panic. She couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, spent days in bed alternating between rage and despair. She felt like a failure, worried about her family's future, and saw no way forward. Discovering the space. 3 weeks into her crisis, Sarah remembered something from a psychology class about Viktor Frankl. She decided to try the space technique. Stop. Instead of spiraling into another day of despair, she literally stopped and sat quietly for 5 minutes. Pause. She recognized that between losing her job and her response to it, there was a choice point. Assess. She asked herself, what can I control? What meaning might this hold? How do I want to respond? Choose. She decided to see this as an opportunity to reassess her life and pursue work that truly fulfilled her. Execute. She began taking concrete steps toward a new future. The meaning-making process. Sarah applied Frankl's 3 sources of meaning. Creative values. She realized she'd always wanted to start her own consulting firm, but had been too comfortable to take the risk. The firing forced her into the entrepreneurial leap she'd been avoiding. Experiential values. The crisis brought her family closer together. Her children stepped up to help, and she discovered strengths in herself she'd never known existed. Attitudinal values. She chose to see this setback as a setup for something better. Instead of being bitter about the firing, she became grateful for the push toward her authentic path. The transformation. 18 months later, Sarah's consulting firm was thriving. She was earning more money, had better work-life balance, and felt more fulfilled than ever. But the real transformation was internal. She'd developed unshakable confidence in her ability to handle whatever life threw at her. The key insight. Sarah's circumstances didn't change overnight, but her relationship to adversity transformed completely. She learned that she couldn't control what happened to her, but she could always control what happened to her. Here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, practice the space technique with every minor frustration you encounter. When someone cuts you off in traffic, when technology doesn't work, when plans get canceled, use these moments to strengthen your response choice muscle. Remember Frankl's profound insight. You are never truly powerless as long as you can choose your attitude. Between every stimulus and response lies a space of infinite possibility. In that space, you can transform any adversity into advantage, any suffering into strength. The Frankl method isn't about eliminating problems from your life. It's about developing the inner freedom to choose your response to any problem. When you master this skill, you become truly unstoppable. If this exploration of Viktor Frankl's revolutionary approach to adversity gave you a new perspective on your challenges, hit that like button and subscribe for more life-changing insights from history's greatest thinkers. Next week, we're diving into Seneca's counterintuitive approach to time management, why you have more time than you think, and how to reclaim the hours you're unconsciously wasting. The space between stimulus and response is where your freedom lives. The question isn't whether you'll face adversity, you will. The question is, what will you choose to do in that space? Your growth, your freedom, and your future depend on your answer.